The trip we took did not cost Daystar any money. Not too long ago, Daystar fired my son Jonathan Lamb from his job. Christians were shocked by a big statement that Joni Lamb's children made not long ago. The fact that the family is having big problems and being blamed for them on the Daystar TV network is clear. A lot of bad things are happening in the Lamb family right now. There are reports of bad money management, spiritual abuse, and personal betrayals. Daystar's past is called into question by this shocking news. It also makes us think about faith duty and the future of one of the biggest names in Christian TV. What did Joni Lamb's children say? The head of Daystar is being criticized in public by Jonathan Lamb. In a shocking turn of events, Jonathan Lamb has spoken out against the Daystar TV network staff. Before this, the church was praised for its strong faith and ability to work together. Marcus and Joni Lamb own Daystar, and their son is Jonathan Lamb. His brave move shocked Christians, made people think twice, and sparked a huge discussion about the future of the network. Some very strong reports say that Daystar is misusing money and doing wrong things, which makes Jonathan angry. He recently said that the church had lost sight of its original goal and put its members' mental health below its own goals. The criticism is extra sharp for Jonathan because he has used the network all his life. People who have supported Daystar for a long time will really feel what he says. He says the money wasn't used right, especially for his mom Joni's pricey trip with her new husband Doug Weiss. This is one of the most shocking things Jonathan has said. He says that the big $100,000 bill was paid by Daystar, which he believes is wrong for a church that relies on donors. Jonathan said that spending this much money hurts the group's image and breaks the trust of viewers, which was a big part of its success. Just to make things worse, Jonathan said he felt ignored by the leaders when he spoke out against these money decisions. That he talked about had strict rules that kept out people who didn't follow them, and people were loyal over honest. A lot of people who supported Daystar are upset and angry because this goes against what the company was built on. Because of what Jonathan said, things have changed very quickly. He had to choose between his duty to the Lamb family and the disturbing claims being made about how the network works. There are people who are sad that Jonathan's family problems have been made public, and there are people who are proud of him for having the courage to speak out. Daystar might be in danger if Jonathan keeps talking about his fears. What will the ministry do? Will it face these problems head on, or will it give in to public pressure? Because Jonathan was so critical, people have thought about who is to blame for what. Things like morals and what religious group leaders should do. Jonathan's claims about the $100,000 wedding have caused a huge stir in the Daystar community. Jonathan Lamb has said shocking things about his mother Joni Lamb's big $100,000 wedding to her new husband Doug Weiss. People are arguing about this pricey trip, which has made them wonder about the Daystar TV network's money sense, a church-based organization that knows how to handle money well. Jonathan says that this pricey honeymoon was paid for by Daystar, which is mostly supported by gifts from fans. He says this is not only wrong, but it also breaks the faith that people have in the ministry. He says that spending church money on nice things for yourself goes against the spirit of Daystar, which was to help and improve the community, not to live a fancy life. It was also strange when the honeymoon took place. A lot of people were interested in Joni's quick wedding to Doug Weiss after Marcus Lamb, Jonathan's father and co-founder of Daystar, died. Many people in the community are asking if Daystar should be enjoying themselves when they should be helping the family who lost a loved one and their fans get better. There is a lot of disagreement among Daystar fans about what Jonathan said. Supporters aren't sure what to do. It was hard for them because they were close to the Lamb family and these claims made them feel weird. Others are upset and confused that family fights are being talked about in public, while others have come together to support Jonathan and say how brave he is for coming out. The scandal over the trip is hurting more than just money as it continues to spread. It makes us think about who is responsible and how open faith-based groups are. What will Daystar do about these claims? Will it earn back the trust of its viewers, or will this fancy trip be a turning point in the network's history? Jonathan Lamb's boasts about the $100,000 trip have caused a lot of trouble that the people of Daystar can't ignore. The ministry's future may depend on how it deals with these big problems as the story goes on. What's more, Daystar's history is in danger. People in the Daystar community are shocked by the news that Jonathan's car had a tracker put on it. Jonathan Lamb says that someone from the security team of the network put a tracker on his car without telling him. What a shocking claim. It makes me think about trust, privacy, and how far the leaders of Daystar might go to watch out for their own family. The founders of Daystar, Marcus and Joni Lamb, have a boy named Jonathan. He has made it clear that he is worried about where the church is going. After he was accused of bank fraud and wasting money, things between him and his family got worse. The tracking device adds another layer of mystery and worry. That's how Jonathan found the tracker. He thinks it was put there to keep an eye on everything he does and says, "They broke into his privacy and did it to scare him," he said. It's important to know what such a move would mean. That is shocking, and it goes against everything Daystar stands for as a church that encourages faith, trust, and being open. One way to do this is to put a tag on a family member's car. People who like Daystar are shocked and angry about what Jonathan said. It has led to a lot of anger and talk. A group that wants to help people grow spiritually and in their community would go to such lengths many people don't believe it. We need to know more about Daystar's culture and whether it encourages fear instead of hope. With Jonathan's story still coming out, everyone in Daystar is left to wonder what this all means for the future. The shocking trust breach needs to be dealt with by the group. Will nobody talk about it? A tag was put on Jonathan's car, which is more than just a scary event. It shows that the Lamb family and the church they built together are having a bigger fight. All eyes will be on Daystar as this story goes on to see how they deal with these serious charges and win back the trust of their community. Christians are very interested in what Doug Weiss has to say about a great story. Now that Doug Weiss works at Daystar Television Network, the fights in the Lamb family are much worse. Doug Lamb, Joni Lamb's new husband, has made a lot of trouble and heated fights about duty, church leadership, and the future. Marcus Lamb was one of the owners of Daystar. When he died, it made people question Joni's marriage to Doug Weiss, which caused problems in the family. The son of Joni has been very open about how unhappy he is with Doug's quick rise in the family business. He believes that Doug's presence not only changes how the family works, but it also damages Marcus's image that he has built up over the years. Many people wonder if Doug's job at Daystar is right after hearing about how he and Joni got married. Jonathan is worried about more than just his family. They believe Doug's leadership roles are bad for the ministry's image. Since Marcus died not long ago, he thinks that big jobs should not be given to new people right away, but instead should be used to heal and honor Marcus' memory. Because Jonathan thinks Doug is being brought into the church too quickly, he feels angry and left out. People who back Daystar are in the middle as the split gets worse. Some people back Jonathan and admire how brave he is to speak out against what they see as wrong. Others believe that the family should not discuss their differences in public. People are worried about Daystar's future and whether it can keep doing its job now that these complaints are out in the open. Things are getting even more difficult because Doug is becoming more of a co-host on Daystar shows. A lot of people think this is an attempt to make his place in the church stronger. Some family members are upset about this move, and viewers are also curious about the direction of the network, the abuse claims, and the family getaway. Serious abuse claims have been made from a family holiday where the Lamb family was present, which has shocked everyone in the Daystar community. This event has cast a long shadow over the image of one of Christian broadcasting's most well-known families and made people look twice. After Marcus Lamb's death, the trip was meant to help people heal and get closer. But things went badly when Jonathan Lamb's daughter had a scary experience with a family member. The claim of bad behavior has sparked a lot of discussion and worry, but the specifics are still not clear. A lot of Daystar followers don't understand how these things could happen in a family that has always been religious and unified. It is clear to Jonathan Lamb that he is angry and upset about how things have been managed. He believes that the situation wasn't handled properly, which made the family members feel cheated and scared. Things are already tough between the Lamb family, and this new information makes things even worse. Jonathan has to deal with both the effects on his emotions and the effects on the church. As the story goes on, those who support Daystar are shocked. There are a lot of people who don't trust the leaders because such serious charges could happen at a family retreat that was meant to bring people together and help them heal. The difference between how the Lamb is seen by the public and what happens behind closed doors is upsetting. This makes people worry about accountability and openness in the church. The story about Daystar could be changed by what happens because of these claims. Will the family face these very serious claims straight on? What are they going to do to protect and care for their family members? After the event, a lot of people have talked about abuse, who is to blame, and how important trust is in families and groups. People in Daystar are paying close attention. What happened at the family retreat might change the Lamb family and their goal for a long time. Will they be better in the end? Or are these claims going to make things worse? As the story goes on, the answers to these questions will become very important. This will keep people interested along the way. Jonathan notes a family meeting that no one else is aware of. Surprisingly, Jonathan Lamb has revealed that he filmed a private family meeting with Jimmy Evans, his mother Joni Lamb, and himself. Everyone in Daystar is shocked. People in the family are under a lot of stress after this shocking news. It makes you think seriously about trust, loyalty, and how far someone might go to tell the truth. It was meant to be about the problems that were getting worse in the Lamb family at the meeting, but when Jonathan decided to record it, things took a strange turn. He has been in the group all his life to keep track of what he saw as its lack of openness and responsibility. A lot of the time, family fights are kept secret. Jonathan was brave to record the talk, which has shown how the Daystar leadership really works. Jonathan talks about his worries about Daystar's future and the changes that have happened since his father died in the video. He talks to Joni about the choices she makes with her money and how her new husband changes things. Doug Weiss. The family is under a lot of stress because everyone has strong feelings and different points of view. In Jonathan's mind, the tape backs up what he says and throws light on something that bothers him. People who back Daystar have said some crazy things about the secret tape getting out. There are people who are glad Jonathan told the truth, and people who are sad that the family no longer trusts him. A lot of people find it tough to accept someone who records a private meeting because they feel betrayed. The question still stands because this news is still having an effect. What does this mean for Daystar and the Lamb family after this? Will they be able to fix the problems in their relationships? Is it too late for the family to get back together because Jonathan chose to record the meeting? Christians all over the world are shocked by Jonathan's claim that he was turned down for a pastorate. Jonathan Lamb has said in public that he was turned down for a top position at Daystar television network that he believes should have been his. People are shocked by this claim, which also shows how tense things are in the Lamb family as they deal with the death of their father. The founders of Daystar, Marcus and Joni Lamb, have a boy named Jonathan. He says his dad wanted him to be a big boss after he died. But he does say that things changed after Marcus died. He felt let down and pushed to the side. He says that the current leadership, which is mostly made up of his mother Joni and her new husband Doug Weiss, has disregarded family history instead of doing what his father wanted. This makes him angry and shamed. Someone who supports Daystar is making a lot of noise about the claim that they were not given a leading role. There are now a lot of questions about how the group makes decisions and whether it is honest. Daystar is often seen as a united family church, which makes people worry about how open and responsible they are. Jonathan's claim is very different from this. When Jonathan keeps saying that he is sad, it leads to very bad things. Might this family drama lead to a split in Daystar, or might the Lambs be able to get along? The fact that Doug Weiss is there makes things even worse. He's quickly become well known in the church. This is why some people think that his power played a part in Jonathan being left out of leadership talks. People who back Daystar aren't sure how they feel about him. In a way, they admire Jonathan's bravery for coming out. And yet they are scared about what could happen to a charity that has helped a lot of people. They stay with us as this family story goes on. Is this the start of a bigger fight that could ruin Daystar's future, or can the Lamb family get back together? Jonathan's issues with work and getting fired. It's getting a lot of attention that Jonathan Lamb was fired. This is the latest trouble the Lamb family has had with the Daystar TV network. Joni Lamb, Jonathan's mother and president of Daystar, explained why he was fired. She said that leadership failed, standards were not met, and trust was broken. Jonathan was put on a PIP, which stands for Performance Improvement Plan, because there were problems with how he handled and did his job at the company. Jonathan was vice president and was in charge of many offices, including the one that dealt with prayer. Joni, on the other hand, says he didn't talk about important things that department heads brought up. Some say that this poor management cost Daystar a lot of important workers on the prayer team. Joni told him that Jonathan's PIP was meant to help him deal with these issues and get better. It was clear what was expected of him, but Jonathan is said to have failed to meet these goals over the course of 6 to 9 months. People paid close attention to his work hours because he missed a lot of time without explaining why and wasn't doing the things he was supposed to be doing. It was also told to Joni to fire Jonathan, but she hoped he would change for the better. Things took an unexpected turn when Jonathan's PIP ran out on November 15, 2023, and he was fired. At the same time, someone started writing bad things about Daystar's management. This made more people think that Jonathan was fired because he helped bring problems to the company's attention. Joni says this is not possible to be true. Because he didn't do his job well enough and meet the goals in the growth plan, Jonathan was fired. Claims that Joni Lamb was covered up are not true. Joni Lamb, president of Daystar Television Network, has strongly rejected claims that she covered up abuse of her granddaughter and other shocking claims about her family. This comes in the middle of a scandal. Christian radio and TV hosts are very angry about these claims, but Joni is standing her ground. She says the claims are not true and are clearly an attempt to make her family look bad. The worst claim is based on something that took place in 2021 at a family retreat. The crime was blamed on Joni Lamb, her son Jonathan, and his wife Suzy. Marcus Lamb, who died, was also blamed. Because they didn't do anything about a story that a family member was having an unsuitable relationship with Jonathan's daughter. Joni, on the other hand, has told the whole story of what happened, making it clear that things were taken out of context and that she and Marcus never hid or ignored anything. Joni said that the problem was fixed right away because of a mistake. Someone from the family walked into a room while Jonathan's daughter was changing. She says nothing bad happened. And that everyone, including Suzy and Jonathan, said they were sorry and moved on. Different story from 2020, Joni talked about how another child at preschool touched her granddaughter. Jonathan says she went to the school with Suzy to find out what was wrong and fix it, just like any grandmother would do for her kids. On the other hand, Joni says that a low-level writer made up this story to make the problems her family is having look bigger. Joni was very hurt by the accusations, and she is angry that family problems she wanted to be fixed privately have become public. People also said she put her ministry ahead of her family, but she said, "I would never put the ministry ahead of my family." She's never done that. However, Joni is still set on making things better. She says that all the claims of a cover-up are lies meant to hurt her image as a leader, which is Daystar's main goal. There is no doubt in her mind that bad people are after her family and the church. Joni Lamb is very upset about a fight in her family. People used to think that the Lamb family was what held the huge Christian TV network Daystar together. They are in the news because of family troubles that are getting worse. The fight in the family is bad for more than just Daystar's leader, Joni Lamb. She says that the breakup was very personal and has made her feel sad and let down. Jonathan Lamb and his wife Suzy have said and done things that have caused the family and the church to split up. Joni said it was like a storm, and the only thing worse was when her husband Marcus Lamb died in 2021. Joni isn't just fighting over who should run the business or who should be in charge. It's also about how much she loves her kids and grandkids. When Joni married Christian psychologist Doug Weiss again in 2023, the breakup got worse. People say that Jonathan and Suzy were okay with the relationship at first, but they began to pull away when they learned that Doug would co-host Daystar shows with Joni. For Joni, this change in how things were going was a big moment in their relationship. She thinks that Doug's presence and influence made the couple feel threatened, which is why they did what they did to protect their church. Even worse, Joni said that the family had tried to solve their problems in private by praying and talking to a mediator. Any of these tries kept failing, though. In secret, Jonathan had taped a family meeting, which made her mad. She said it was not honest and broke her trust. There is more stress because of public claims that Joni covered up abuse or abused church funds. It might hurt Joni the most that these private issues are being brought up in public. People said she ignored her family and friends for Daystar, but it was made clear that she has always put family before church. "I love my son and my new husband, and my kids and grandchildren," she said. She also said that the fight had made her think about how to move on.